Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Voices from the Ostfront, where today I will seek to explore the experiences of men and women whose lives are remembered in account and deeds. In Voices from the Ostfront Episode 1, I will be recounting the lived experience of Lieutenant Siegfried Knappe, the future author of Soldat, Reflections of German Soldier, 1936 to 1949, quite the famous name there. I will be reading two passages from War Without Garlands, Operation Barbarossa, 1941 to 1942, the author being Robert Kershaw. A good book, definitely worth checking out. In the first passage, in early June, Lieutenant Siegfried Knappe's artillery battery had arrived in East Prussia, exercised around Plosken near the Russian border. Knappe and the other battery commanders were invited to conduct a map study to determine the best positions for our guns in the event of an attack on Russia. Their battalion commander insisted it to be done carefully. The existence of the Russo-German non-aggression pact was cited in response, but they were reassured. It's just an exercise. The positions were duly determined. Thereupon, the battery commanders were ordered to send work details of soldiers dressed in civilian clothes to load 300 rounds of ammunition onto carts and transport them to their assigned gun positions. Your men are to look like farmers doing farm work, and your ammunition is to be camouflaged after you unload it, instructed their battalion commander. The realization sank in. One of the battery commanders asked, "When are we going to invade, Major?" This caused acute embarrassment of their battalion commander, obviously laboring under security constraints. It is a purely hypothetical situation, but we have to make it look as real as possible. Civilian clothes were borrowed from local farm families, and the ammunition concealed under brushwood in the reconnoitred positions. Now, this first passage is rather amazing, isn't it? The fact that the men here are asking their commanding officers, are we invading? And of course this is in the context of the, as mentioned, Russo-German non-aggression pact. These men didn't believe that Russia was the enemy. And as we see in the second passage, that really does sink in. It does have a tremendous effect on the men's psyche, as we see here. Artillery Lieutenant Siegfried Knappe saw that a few kilometers away, the village that would be our first objective lay sleeping, bathed in comfort of soft moonlight. He likens it to a beautiful painting. The strong scent of pine needles permeated my consciousness as I wandered among the 180 men in my battery. The prospect of combat clears the senses like a drug, throwing troops into sharp relief. I became more aware of the men as individuals than I had ever been before. Some were timid, others were brash. Some were gloomy, others easily amused. Some were ambitious, others idlers. Some were spendthrifts, others misers. The diverse thoughts that lay behind their helmets as they waited for battle, only they could know. One soldier was humming softly to himself in meditation. Some were no doubt full of foreboding, and others were thinking of home and loved ones. Knappe was totally confident. The men were strong and sure of themselves. Veterans had their doubts, but emotions were kept tightly under control. Incredible, isn't it? On the eve of battle, Knappe here is talking about how he feels as if his consciousness has been expanded. He suddenly looks at his men deeper than he's ever looked before. And this is really what I do appreciate from War Without Garlands, is the fact that you get this human experience. You can really understand this from the point of view of the men. These men, they don't know exactly what they're going to be doing. There's rumours abound here. And where there's rumours, there's chaos. And if you're the man there who has some information, some sense of order, well, that makes you a very popular man. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, of course, this is the proof of concept from Voices from the Ostfront. I will, of course, be expanding upon this. I would like to have a... I'm going to have them ordered. So I'd like to have some background information, perhaps some more information such as the context of the passage, the campaign they were perhaps involved in, perhaps even their eventual fate. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this. Please do let me know. And of course I will continue to improve. I may do several versions of this one account here, just to improve my confidence with this. If you guys have enjoyed this, then, well, I hope I've done a job. A good job. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.